Hi, my name's John Cox. The piece that I've submitted to Swell this year is called The Rising Tide, although I'm sure most of you will refer to it as The Green Bear. Back in 1997, I worked on a number of television commercials where I had to build animatronic polar bears, and in order to do that, I have to find out everything that I possibly can about what makes a polar bear a polar bear. So that sparked my passion for these animals. When the opportunity for Swell came up to submit a piece this year, I instantly thought of the bears, and more importantly the fact that their environments are diminishing quite rapidly. They're beginning to hit the headlines a bit more because their situation is becoming so dire and their environments are shrinking at a very rapid rate. So I thought, okay, I'll submit a polar bear. And then I thought, look, I could do a polar bear and just make it look like a polar bear. But I felt that people, children more particularly, would probably walk straight past it and go, oh, there's a polar bear, move on to the next sculpture, to see something that was something a little different. Then I thought, okay, well, it's an environmental issue, so I'll go green. Since I've done that, I've noticed that what's been happening, and hopefully what will happen during the entire Swell festival, is that parents and kids will come up and the kids will say, why is he green? That instantly can spark a conversation and can bring about a bit more of a discussion about polar bears and their diminishing environments. Once I had the idea for a polar bear, the next thing is, how do I turn it into a physical sculpture? So my process starts by using a digital sculpting program. So I sculpt on a computer, and that way I can work and refine the sculpture over a period of weeks and months. This particular piece probably took 4 to 5 weeks. Once I have it as a digital sculpture, I then send that digital file over to my big 5-axis milling machine. Milling machine is like a giant drill on the end of a big moving machine, and once I send the file to that machine, it will cut me this particular piece out of polystyrofoam at whatever size I ask it to. So I could cut the bear's head this big if I wanted, and it would be 100% identical to that one there. Because it all comes from a digital file, I have the ability to make certain there are no further changes to my original sculpture. Once I have the sculpture done, I then go about making big molds, silicon molds of both of these pieces. Once the silicon molds are done, I lay them up in fiberglass, sand them, make sure they're all perfect. Once the fiberglass pieces are completed, then goes to the paint shop and the final colours are applied. In this particular instance, we've gone for, in the white and the iceberg, of pixie dust, so you'll notice that there are all lots of little flecks of colour in there. It's not just straight white. And the green for this particular bear, you'll notice on a number of small hatchback cars driving around. That's the colour. And that's how I went about making The Rising Tide.